Hi, and stay right there. My name is Agnesia Agrella. I'm a business analyst at Marketspace Productivity.com, and today we're talking about the importance of soft skills for the business analyst who wants to do agile projects. The new buzzword in the business analysis and project management world today is agile. But the definitions that is given for change-driven and plan-driven approaches for project management by the BARBOK of the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge is a very good explanation for me to actually start this conversation. Because if you look at the plan-driven approaches, it focuses on minimizing upfront uncertainty and ensuring that the solution is fully defined before implementation begins, or in order to maximize control and minimize risk. And we all know this focus is really changing. With technology changing so quickly, with all the social media that we have around, things are becoming very instant. Things change quickly and you have to be up to date, and there's an expectation from your stakeholders that you have to change quickly. So change-driven approaches focus on a rapid delivery of business value in short iterations in return for acceptance of a higher degree of uncertainty regarding the overall delivery of the solution. So you need to be responsive and you need to be quick. You need to be able to facilitate within the moment of your solution. So things are changing and they're changing fast. In today's world of technology, where it enables us to change and adapt to new ideas and new products faster, we are all under pressure to deliver faster. But we are not necessarily trained or educated to operate in this unknown world. Operating in the mystery always sounds a bit spiritual, and there's no place for spirituality in the business. We need to be stable, predictable, logical, and unemotional. But how will we then implement agile when most of our workforce do not have the skills or the emotional intelligence to operate in this uncertainty? Because in the agile environment, your sprints are short, they are quick, you don't necessarily know what you're going to do in the sprint, and the solution will come out of the interaction of the facilitation in the sprint. So that is a whole new dimension where the business analyst specifically who's going to lead the project, and I certainly believe the business analyst is the most important team member of an agile project, because you are leading and facilitating that change. You must be very comfortable with yourself and with your stakeholders to be able to facilitate that emotion. Because when people are in an area where there's a lot of change, they are defensive, so they resist change. They don't necessarily want to share their ideas because they don't always think that it's valuable. And you also have stakeholders who don't necessarily want to implement or use that approach, and they will also be difficult. So the biggest fear for the individual is the fear of rejection. And the biggest fear for the organization is bankruptcy. So how then can the organization progress if its workforce is already resisting the change before we even start? And most organizations do not believe it's necessary to prepare their workforce for cultural change. They just expect them to change. But the reality is that it's the people who create the culture of the organization. It's the people who implement the processes for the organization to provide products and services. And it's the people who use the technology to provide services and products to other people. So the most important part of the organization is the individual. And we have to start by developing the individual. And it's how we communicate with each other, and especially in agile environments where there's lots of stress and anxiety. Your way of communication has to be respectful, and it has to create a safe environment. And what I mean by safety, it's a feeling that your nervous system is open and it is ready to actually listen rather than being defensive. And this is a skill that will have to be learned by the people who is going to lead these projects, and especially in an agile environment. So for me, the business analyst who actually is comfortable with a lot of change and who can actually lead the agile project and facilitate the solutions from a space of, I don't necessarily know what the outcome is. I know where we're going, but we're going to find the solution together. It's those business analysts that's going to embrace the challenge to actually develop their own skills. The skills is not necessarily the organization is not necessarily responsible for developing those skills within the individual, because it's an area where nobody goes. It's spiritual, and we don't talk about the unknown and how to stand in that unknown area. But it's the individual who's going to take the time to look for the courses and the people who actually understand what it all means to stand in that unknown and how to operate from that space, who is going to be the leaders of the agile projects and who's going to make sure that these projects succeed. But at marketspaceproductivity.com, that is what a lot through my training psychotherapy studies on how to actually create these safety for people. So I am bringing that to my trainings as a business analyst. It's all about the skills. It's all about the individual. It's all about how we communicate. And it's all about our own emotion of change. When I'm comfortable with myself and I know where I'm coming from and how I can manage through that uncertain area, then I can actually be an anchor for somebody else to go into that environment. And I will be stronger in the facilitation sessions in an agile environment. So if you want to know more about what I offer and what marketspaceproductivity.com is all about, come and take the tour at my website and see for yourself.